Eddie, PT37 here, and today on Reloaded Thoughts, I'm going to be loading some 38 specials. I am in need of some of those. So I'm going to be loading up that, and we're going to be talking about the 223 Remington as I have a new rifle in that. So I'm going to do a deep dive into that myself. And then we're also going to talk about deer season results. So deer season's not over, but I just want to skate over where I'm at so far and what I've done and how I think about it, or what I think about it. So let's start off with the 223. So I've been wanting a 223 bolt gun for a while, and I may have talked about this in another episode about just kind of wanting a cheap plinking like rifle, something I can hunt with, like varmint, or just practice with, or just something that's cheap and fun to shoot. And finally settled on a 223, and I just got a Ruger American, just the standard Ruger American, which is fine. I like those rifles. It's the Gen 2, so I would show you, but I'm sure you've seen what they look like by now. Sorry, I had to make a camera adjustment, but anyway, I'm sure you've seen what they look like. You know, nothing fancy, but they're nice little rifles, especially for the price. So I got one of those. I got the standard 20-inch model. I'm gonna make sure my bill on the case mouth is good. Probably need to tighten it up a little bit. So I got the 20-inch model. I wanted something that was reasonably short, but long enough where I still got a good amount of velocity. So that's why I went with the 20-inch. So I liked the Ranch, you know, the 16-inch model, but I didn't want to compromise velocity that much. So, and I already have a Ranch 300 Blackout. So if I want a handy rifle, I already have it, 300 Blackout pretty much. So I went with the 20-inch, and I had a Nikon 4-12x40, just Buckmaster, just an old scope. On a 270 I got. Well, I've been wanting to upgrade it on that gun, so I went ahead and took it off and stuck it on this. So I think it'll be perfect for what I'm wanting to do with it. So that being said, I want to do a video on it down the road, but between loads I already had on hand, and a few loads a friend gave me, and reloads, I have 11 loads to test out of that gun. So I think I'm going to find something it likes, I'm sure. So I loaded up. I got these old bullets my grandpa gave me. Got some Sierra 50 grain semi-pointed bullets. That's all it says. And I looked, and I think they still make all these, because I wasn't going to load them if I can't buy any more, but according to their websites, they still make these bullets. So I got a Sierra 63 grain semi-point, and then I got a Speer semi-Spitzer 70 grain, and this is a new box. I've had this for a few years, but it's a 55 grain Sierra Game King, and then I got a 45 grain Hornady Hornet bullet. So I loaded 5 different bullets just myself, and I just loaded a kind of a middle of the road load with Varget with all of them. Use the same brass. I just used the reloading manual overall length recommendations for each bullet, and then like I said, just a middle of the road charge of Varget, and just gonna shoot them all, see how they do, see what the rifle likes, what it don't like, and go from there. So as cheap as 223 is, I don't know, I mean, I'm probably gonna load for it, but as cheap as it is, if I got 6 factory loads to try out. So if one of the factory loads shoots good, I may just go that route and just stick with that, or just try to load a comparable bullet combination. So that's where I'm at there. So that's going to be my cheap plinker, like play gun. So I like that. And but moving on, let's talk about deer season. So comment below how you've done in your deer season, if your state's having deer season, whatever. I've talked about it a little bit, but so this year, my daughter, she's 8, she killed her first buck, or her first deer, and it happened to be a pretty good buck. And so I let her use my Henry 357. I talked about it in another video that's what I was going to let her use. And so I had that loaded with a Hornady 158 grain flat point XTPs. And I haven't chronographed that exact load, but I chronographed a real similar load with a little gun. I got a video about that. So that little gun load, I got the same velocity out of my revolver that I get with my typical H110 load. So I'm guessing it's probably going to be pretty similar out of the rifle. I got like right at 1900 feet per second or just under out of the rifle with that little gun load. So I'm guessing that's what I got out of this H110 load. It's probably right under 1900 feet per second or right at. So she shot the deer at 100 yards. Deer was facing us, you know, like directly straight on. And she shot him right in the chest, you know, right where you're supposed to. And well, she missed the first time, completely missed. But thank the Lord for a silencer and a kind of naive buck. But anyway, she completely missed the first time. Got another round jacked in the gun. And she shot and made a good shot the second time. And he jumped, and I'm sure he would have died from the first shot. But with it being her first time, I didn't know where she hit him. So I had her just go ahead and shoot him again just to be sure. Because he jumped, and you could tell he was hit. I heard the bullet whack him. But I told her to give him another one. And she did, and he just fell right over. And that was 100 yards away. And when I was skinning the deer, I'll roll in a picture. So I just started to skin it, and she shot him in the chest, like I said. And right in the picture there is where my finger's at. That's where the bullet was. So I actually do have the bullet right here. It mushroomed back perfectly. It looks great. I was very, very impressed with the performance. So I'll go ahead and weigh it. I haven't weighed it. So, got my little scale here, and I'll weigh it and see what the weight retention is. I want to do a video just updating this, but I just wanted to talk about it a little bit now. So it weighs 146.9. Wow, so it lost like 11 grains, pretty much. That's really impressive. It done really good. So in the gel, if you guys watch my video on the gel test, this bullet penetrated like 18 inches, I think, or 18 or 19, and it all but like blew up in the gel. Now that was like 10 yards away. So, but at 100 yards away, it really done good. Let me measure the maximum point of expansion, but it definitely penetrated more than 18 or 19 inches in the deer, as you can tell from the picture. Okay, so widest point is 0.570. So it really kind of performed more like the XTP out of my GP100 at that distance. So, I mean, just going gel to gel, or like comparing the gel test to the deer. And I don't think it went through any bone that I could tell, but it went through it. It was setting on like the stomach when I was starting to skin it or like split it. It was just on top of the stomach. Like it had just went through the stomach and was sitting on the other side of it. So it went through like all the guts pretty much. So done really good. I was really impressed with it. And then, so my daughter did that, but I took out my 350 Legend rifle. I'd never shot anything with that either. I think I've showed that, but I got a 16-inch 350 Legend rifle, and I don't have any brass for it really. So a friend of mine, we did some horse trading, and we traded, and I got some Hornady 170 grain interlocks for that factory rounds he'd bought for his gun. His gun didn't shoot him the best, didn't shoot him bad, but he just kind of wanted to go, or he found a different load that works better than his gun. So I haven't shot mine much, so I wanted to try them and see how they did. Mine, it shot them about 1.5 inches, 2 inches, somewhere like that. But that being said, for my intended purpose of that rifle, that's plenty for me. I'm not going to be too picky about it because it's an AR, and I'm not going to be shooting long range, like 150, 200 yards maybe, and that's plenty accurate for me. Now that being said, when I shot that group, I had a bad wrist and stuff, so I'd like to try it on an actual bench and just make sure it wasn't me. But I was just kind of getting it roughly sighted in so I could take it deer hunting, and got to take it yesterday. I shot a doe with it. It was about 30 yards, and I'll roll in a picture of that too, but it was about 30 yards, give or take. Perfect broadside shot right in the shoulder, and it went completely through, exited. And I've seen a lot of people complaining about lack of blood trails with 350 Legend. I think they just don't understand that you gotta shoot them in the right spot for there to be a blood trail. Like, yeah, if you high double lung them, you're probably not gonna get much of a blood trail, if any. But the shot couldn't have been much better. It went right in the shoulder, and it didn't hit the heart, but it where the veins and arteries, whatever, come into the top of the heart, just completely obliterated that. Captured the lungs too. And about 10 yards from where I shot her, there was just a red carpet of blood. So I had no lack of blood trail. But not that I needed it anyway. I seen where she crashed. She crashed about 30 yards from where I shot her. So it didn't even need the blood trail. So I was really impressed with that too. I mean, yeah, she didn't drop, but I mean, they're not always going to drop. Like I said, I couldn't have shot her much better. I mean, I didn't go right through the heart, but I shot the top of the heart and obliterated it pretty much. Just pretty much severed it from where it was hooked into. So it was a great shot and great. And exit wound was about a quarter sized, maybe a little smaller, a little bigger, give or take. So it wasn't too bad. I was just real happy with it, and given the overall package, it's a 16-inch AR, got 10-round mag, got a suppressor on there, and a Vortex 1-8 optic. It's a lightweight, handy gun. I mean, I don't get too fired up about ARs. I don't know, I just like more traditional kind of rifles, bolt actions. But as far as a usefulness and like a real world performance, it's hard to beat. It's lightweight, has a lot of firepower. It's equivalent to 30-30 power factor pretty much in a AR platform. So it's just really hard to argue with. I mean, it does everything right, really. So the only thing that's a little up in the air at this point is the accuracy, which, like I said, I plan on doing bench rest testing of that, and then also other loads. So I'm going to go from there. But as far as the 170 grain 350 Legend interlock ammo, it's good to go, in my opinion. Done great. So I was very happy with it, and I'd like to kill another one or two, Lord willing, but we'll see how that goes. I don't know what I want to take next. Oh, I forgot to mention, I missed one with my Glock 10mm, my Glock 20. Opening day, since my daughter already killed that buck, I was going to be a little bit more selective, so I brought my Glock 20 and my 350 Legend, and some does came in about 60 yards, and I thought, I've shot one there before with my 357. GP 100. So I thought I'll try the Glock. If I miss, okay. So I pulled it out, and the sun was shining right in my eyes, and my red dot, I didn't even think about it, but the sun was shining right in the red dot. In the emitter, there was like 10 or 20 dots in the window. So that was terrible. But it was just the worst condition to be using a red dot in. So I could have used a wrong, I didn't know what red dot to aim with, so I could have used the wrong one. I don't think I did. I think I just jerked the trigger, but it's completely possible I just picked the wrong dot to aim with too. But I undershot one, and so that was kind of a bummer. But I was also, there was about 60 yards freehand, so I mean, not the most ideal handgun shot anyway. So I think I might try that again, but use it out of my blind instead of a tree stand where I can set up like a shooting stick or something. So that would be better. But anyway, I feel like I've rambled enough and barely got any loading done. So I will go ahead and call it good for this Reloaded Thoughts. And I appreciate you guys watching. And please like, comment, subscribe. And God bless you. Thanks.